What's going on, bottom line viewers? It's Mitch here live for the Bottom Line, the NFL weekly review here on the Bottom Line View each and every week on Tuesday night, recapping, reviewing, and ranting about the latest events in the NFL from the past week's action. We are reacting to NFL Week 1 of the 2021 NFL season. And I'm going to give you my takes. A lot of them are very, very hot. So before we get started, make sure that you do Gronk spike that like button. Subscribe to the channel for more BLV just like this. And also, Gronk spike that notification bell so that you're notified when this video comes out. Guys, I'm excited. The NFL is back, baby. It's back. It's better than ever. We had some great NFL Week 1 action. It was phenomenal to see the fans back in the stands. Phenomenal to hear the noise of when your defense is on the field. And that quarterback's taking that snap. I never thought I would ever be as happy to see a false start or a delay of game because of the crowd noise. But I was pumped to see it, and I was pumped to see all these games. I think we had a few phenomenal games this week. We learned a lot. I still think there's a lot to learn left because this is Week 1. And the main theme of Week 1, guys, is that we don't want to overreact to Week 1, right? We want to learn from it, but we don't want to overreact. We don't want to overextend ourselves into a bad take. We want to keep it right in the middle. Not too high, not too low on week number 1 of the NFL season. I'm going to get to a lot of topics today. The topics today include Ultra's top 10 NFL teams after week number 1, which you can check out exclusively every single Tuesday early in the morning on our Instagram at TheBottomLineView. The next topic will be, are the Bucs still going undefeated? Because everyone keeps commenting on my page. Mitch, are they still going undefeated? Yo, they're not going undefeated. They almost lost the Cowboys. Mitch, you're stupid. They're not going undefeated. Stop it. Are the Cowboys good? I think a lot of people are wondering, was that the Buccaneers being bad? Or was that the Cowboys being good? So I answer that question. Mac Jones is the best rookie quarterback in the NFL. And I think he might be the best quarterback of this class only through 1 week. Zach Wilson is the real deal. I was impressed with what I saw. We'll talk about that. The Green Bay Packers are soft. They are not contenders. They are pretenders. I'm sorry, Sean Payton. I will give my apology to Saints fans, to Jameis Winston, and to Sean Payton himself. The Bengals upset the Vikings in a game that I thought was a stone cold lock. Well, we need that key back to unlock that lock because I was wrong. The Bengals upset the Vikings. Don't sleep on Denver. Please do not sleep on Denver. We're going to talk about that. Are the Steelers actually legit? Or should we be concerned about the Buffalo Bills? I'll talk about both those things. Stafford is what I thought he was. He is who I thought he was. The RAIDAS win an epic game. Thank you guys for joining me last night on that live stream. We're going to talk about the RAIDAS, if they're legit or if the Ravens just suck. We're going to talk about that because are they in trouble? I think they are. And then to close it out, the Browns lost. The Chiefs did not win. I'll leave you with that headline, all right? So guys, before we get started on all the week's events, I do have to give you a little plug here for our social medias, all right? On Twitter, you can follow myself, my personal account, at Mitch Milani to get my tweets throughout NFL Sundays, throughout the NFL week, and more. You can also get much more on the Instagram. I really want you guys to head over to the Instagram because we're going to have Fantasy Football Stardom and Situm, the Ultra Top 10. We're going to soon have waiver wire additions for your fantasy teams and a lot more. Kevin Durkant's doing his thing on there. Ultra's doing his thing on there. Maybe we'll get a little Lenny mixed in there on Instagram. So make sure you do follow us there for content that you will not see here on YouTube. All right. So that's the plug. let's get to the action. And let's start off with Ultra's Power Rankings, all right? Ultra's Power Rankings are brought to you by the BLV Instagram. Let's get to Ultra's top 10. Oh, sorry, that's not the top 10. My bad, that's not the top 10. I gotta find it. Sorry, guys. Look at Matt Ryan just getting laid out there. Sorry, look at that guy, man. I feel so bad for this guy. You know, Atlanta, are they the worst team in football? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Sorry, I pressed the wrong graphic here, so let's get to the next one. All right, here's the Ultra Top 10. We got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at first place. Of course, Tampa Bay, deservedly so, deserves to be first place because they're the Super Bowl champs and they did not lose in week 1. And despite trying to lose week 1, they still won. So Buccaneers, we'll talk about them in just a second here, but they're still the number 1 team. Number 2 team is the Kansas City Chiefs. Ultra says the Chiefs are still the team to beat in the AFC, and I think after their week 1 win, you know, whether the Browns lost or not, I think they deserve to be number 2. That's perfectly cool. They still got Patty Mahomes and Tyreek Hill. Number 3, the Cleveland Browns. The Browns played the Chiefs very, very well. They gave them all that they could ever ask for in that game, and I think the takeaway, a lot of people in the media are going to say, yo, they are not the team, but I think they are the team that could knock off Kansas City from what we saw in week 1. Number 4, the Los Angeles Rams. They are legit. Matthew Stafford is who I thought he was. They are the second best team in the NFC according to Ultra. At number 5, the New Orleans Saints are a sneaky number 3 in the NFC after Jameis Winston and Sean Payton destroy the Green Bay Packers. At number 6, the Arizona Cardinals with an impressive win over the Tennessee Titans. At number 7, the Seattle Seahawks with just a ho-hum, get the job done, and actually not in a Seattle Seahawks fashion where they make Russell Wilson win it at the end. They actually won it convincingly in Indianapolis in week 1, so good for them. At number 8, the Pittsburgh Steelers defeating and upsetting the Buffalo Bills. At number 9, the Los Angeles Chargers. Chargers! At number 9, Justin Herbert is the man, the real deal, and they beat a very tough defense on the road. And at number 10, the Buffalo Bills. Yes, they lost, but I think we will answer why they are still legit. So, at number 10, the Bills. All right. And before I forget, I need to give my boy Lenny this video. All right, because this is the intro he made for the show. So before we get into all the topics, hit that intro. Mac Jones is my favorite quarterback in the 2021 NFL Draft. San Francisco 49ers are legit contenders in 2019. Tom Brady is going to win the Super Bowl with the Bucs this year. Thank you to the man himself. Mac Jones is my favorite quarterback. Lenny, look at that intro. I mean, how sexy is that? Look at Mac Jones. He's so good. All right. Are legit contenders in 2019. Let's get to it. Is going to win the Super Bowl. We got to play it twice. It's so good, man. Look at this. It's too good. All right. Had to play it twice. It's so good. Let's get to the topics today. Let's say hello to everybody in the chat. Durkant's in the chat. Sports Fan is in the chat. Zach's in the chat. Zach, I will try my best. Wave God's in the chat. Nicholas is in the chat. What's going on, guys? RJ. We're seeing some people I don't see very often. Anish is in the chat. Starbucks. Ultra. Nicholas. Sports Fan. Gotta give everybody a shout out. Guys, if you haven't already, Gronk spiked that like button. I gotta figure out here what I actually did. to my settings here.
Mac Jones is my favorite.
Oh, there we go.
Mac Jones is my favorite.
Okay, here we go. I messed it up. All right. Now I'm sharing the screen. Live difficulties. Okay, there we go. All right. So, let's get going. The Bucs still undefeated. This is the thing, guys. So, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are still going to go undefeated. Read my lips. Read my lips. All right? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are still going to go undefeated. They didn't lose week 1. They didn't lose week 1. They are 1-0. So what does that mean? They are undefeated. All right? They are undefeated. They're good to go. They're ready to roll. And they got over, Super Bowl, a little bit of a hangover, feeling themselves a little bit too much. Leonard Fournette can't catch. Ronald Jones fumbled the ball. But don't worry. Tom Brady bailed him out. Tom Brady bailed him out. So we're all good. We're back on track. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are still going to go undefeated. Why, do you ask? Well, I have some points to bring up. All right. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, according to Carmen here, who's a beat reporter for the team, this is some fun NFL research. The Bucs have gone 8-0 in their last 8 games. They have scored 30 or more points in each. And in only 2 other teams in NFL history have actually done that. The 2007 and 2010 Patriots. Tom Brady is the GOAT. What else do you know? If Tampa Bay wins Sunday, scoring another 30, it'll be the longest such streak in NFL history. Not only that, guys. Not only that. But the Tampa Bay Buccaneers tried to lose a game and still won. What do I mean by this? 2 series in the game, the Cowboys took over in the Bucs red zone. 2. Rojo fumbled. Fournette can't catch. This stuff isn't going to happen again. Chris Godwin dropped a 50-yard bomb. That's not going to happen again. All right? Godwin running into the end zone gets stripped. That's not going to happen again. Trust me. This stuff's not going to happen again. You guys are delusional if you think the Bucs are going to do this again. Tom Brady's going to have them cross their T's, dot their I's. It's not going to happen again. You guys saying I'm delusional are delusional. If you think in a game where the Bucs gave the football to a top 3 offense in the NFL this many times and still couldn't lose, what makes you think they're going to lose to any other ordinary squad? We're going to talk about the Cowboys in a second and what impressed me about the Dallas Cowboys. But with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, their defense is going to get better. Their offense is just starting to hum now. It's only going to get better. The offensive line was great. Tom Brady looks like the best quarterback in the league. They didn't even need to run the ball. They didn't even care to run the ball. Gronk looks like he's in his prime. Mike Evans didn't even need to play, and they still shredded this defense. Antonio Brown looks like he's back in 2017 form. Are they going to go undefeated? Yes, duh. They got Antonio Brown in prime. They got Gronk in prime. They got Brady in their prime. I mean, look at this team. The defense, yes, I'm worried a little bit about the cornerback position. Sean Murphy-Bunting will be out for a few weeks. Okay, I get it. That hurts. That stings. But the defense is going to get better, right? This is the thing. The Dallas Cowboys, which is credit to the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys had a great game plan in this game, guys. I mean, they had a great game plan on offense. They moved the ball up and down the field, okay? But the more that teams continue to run out this same game plan, get the ball out quick, attack their corners quick, don't let the pass rush get there. You don't think Todd Bowles is going to figure this out sooner rather than later? Just like he figured out the Chiefs offense in the Super Bowl last year, he's going to figure that out. The more tape that teams continuously try to attack Tampa Bay with the same strategy, the same offensive scheme, the same plays. Dallas literally threw everything in the kitchen sink at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay played less than 100% and still won the game. That is the source of a true champion. That is the source of a true great team that can go undefeated, because their margin for error, as we discussed last year with the Kansas City Chiefs, is the largest in football. They gave the ball to the other team. Guys, think about it this way. If Chris Godwin simply runs into the end zone, we're talking about Tampa winning by double digits and having no issues at the end of the game. No issues. At all. Instead, you guys are like, oh, Tampa Bay, they stink. They're not this great team. Mitch is delusional. Blah, 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 blah. Tampa should have won that game by 20. They really should have. They had an opportunity. They had an opportunity to stretch that lead out. And Dallas was fortunate to stay in the game. They were fortunate. And Dallas has a great quarterback. How many NFL teams can actually attack Tampa's weakness, which is their secondary, the way Dallas can? There are not many teams that have the weaponry across the board of the Dallas Cowboys. Not even the Kansas City Chiefs have that type of weaponry. They only have 2 players. The Cowboys got 3, 4, 5 players. Dak was pretty good. I mean, it took an excellent game plan. It took an excellent performance by the quarterback. It took a couple turnovers, and they still couldn't lose. Because Tom Brady's too good. He's too good. He's not going to lose. They gave him a minute 10. He gave that look to the camera. We knew it was over. It was a wrap. They kicked that game-winning field goal, and it was over. All right? So I don't want to hear it. They were the first team in NFL history to concede over 400 yards, to lose the turnover battle by 3, and still win the game. Think about it. How are they going to lose? They tried to beat themselves and they won. As long as they don't try to beat themselves, which remember, Ultra can attest. I said, who's going to beat the Bucs? It's going to be the Bucs. As long as the Bucs don't beat the Bucs, nobody's beating the Bucs. All right? And then also, are they going to go undefeated? All right. We saw the Bills absolutely crap themselves this weekend, so it doesn't appear to be the Bills. The Rams look good. I'll give you the Rams. The Rams look good. That's going to be their true test in week number 3. And I would say the Saints, like I said before the season start, if they could beat the Saints twice and beat the Rams, they're going undefeated. Period. I'm done with this conversation. We will see you after they're 2-0. Next. Are the Cowboys actually good at football? Because I know a lot of people were commenting, Dallas sucks, Washington's better. Mitch, why do you always cheer for the Cowboys to be good? The Cowboys are good. You know how many comments I got during the live stream? You know how many comments I got during the live stream from people like Durkant, from people like Sports Fan, from people like Ultra? Oh, the Cowboys offense is good. Oh, you don't think the Cowboys offense is good with Dak Prescott, Zeke Elliott, CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, Amari Cooper, and Kellen Moore, and Tyron Smith? You don't think the Cowboys offense is good? Like, I couldn't believe how many times I had to say, yes, Dallas's offense is really good. Like, this is the most obvious thing I've ever stated. But it's true. They're really good on offense. Now, defensively, okay, we're going to talk about it. Why are the Cowboys good? Okay? I think the Cowboys are going to be good this year, even though they're 0-1, because the coaching was good. I was actually impressed with the coaching on both sides of the ball. Now, I thought Dan Quinn As much as he got shredded by Tom Brady, which that happens to everybody, all right? I'm just going to be honest. Everybody this year is going to get shredded by the Bucs. They might have one bad game, okay? But Dallas, given the talent they have there, I felt like Dan Quinn did a good job. And what I liked about Dan Quinn in this game is he did a lot of different things than he usually does, right? He didn't just roll out there and play cover three, press bail. I'm in Atlanta. I'm in Seattle. It's 2013 still. No, it's 2021. And Dan Quinn treated it as such, right? I actually liked what I saw from Dallas's defense. They were making plays. They were turning the ball over. Even though they were gifted a couple of them, they were in the vicinity to make the plays. DeMarcus Lawrence was great in the game. He was a beast. I thought Keanu Neal was good. I thought guys like DeMonte KZ was pretty good. Trevon Diggs is a stud, man, at cornerback. They've got some ballers now. I think Randy Gregory can play. I think they've got depth on the edge on the defense. So I actually think Dallas's defense isn't awful, okay? It's not good. Don't get me wrong. It's not great, but it's serviceable. And when you got a great offense on the other side, that will get it done. Now, on the opposite side of things, Dallas's offense is awesome. And that was certified because of the play calling by Kellen Moore. Not only did we see Dak Prescott come back and look like himself, and the offensive line play very well, even without Zach Martin, but Kellen Moore understood, how do we lose this game? Well, we have our offensive line without Zach Martin. We have Dak drop back a million times and wait for deep developing routes to get open, and we get pressure and we get sacked. All right? So what did Kellen Moore do? He attacked the weaknesses of Tampa Bay, but he did it in a way that would also not lose them the game. I thought the play calling was amazing by Kellen Moore, and I've always been a Kellen Moore guy in terms of his utilization of the passing game. I think Dak has gotten better since he's been there. I think the utilization of play action has been superb by Kellen Moore over the years, and I think he's continuing to get better as an OC and as a play caller. He'll be without Michael Gallup for the next couple of weeks. He'll be without Collins, his right tackle. We'll see how he adjusts. Zeke will get going, right? They understood. Mike McCarthy, Kellen Moore, they understood, how do we lose this game? Well, we run it right at Ndamukong Suh 16 to 20 times. We're going to lose this game. So let's spread it out. Let's attack the cornerbacks and the safeties of Tampa, which is the only way we can win. Let's use the one advantage we have on the football field, which is our receivers versus their corners, and let's just attack that continuously. And that's where I say, with a stamp of approval, that the Dallas Cowboys are good, and the Dallas Cowboys are likely to win this division because they've got the best quarterback, but they've also learned how to actually coach with competence, which is something that I can't say about the Cowboys over the last decade plus. So I think the Cowboys coaching has grown insurmountably, especially on offense, and I'm looking forward to watching them play moving forward. I hope I'm not overreacting here. I don't think I am, but I feel like the Cowboys with a decent enough defense and a great offense is putting them in first place to win this division in the NFC East. The next topic. Mac Jones is the best. He's the best. He's simply the best. Better than all the rest. Yes, Mac Jones is the best. Mac Jones is the best quarterback. And I tweeted this out. Mac Jones, all right? Mac Jones is not the second best quarterback in the draft class. I owe him an apology. I ranked him as the second best quarterback in the 2021 NFL draft class. I was wrong. He is the number one quarterback in the 2021 NFL draft class. Mac Jones was playing like a 33-year-old NFL veteran at quarterback on Sunday. He played a Brian Flores defense that, in my opinion, is top 5 in football. He played a top 3 secondary in the NFL. And he played very, very well, and he did enough for them to win. Okay? They should have won that game. We'll get to that in a second. But that takes nothing away from Mac Jones, who is absolutely, in my opinion, superb and exceeded my expectations. Mac Jones, in his first game, had the highest completion percentage of any rookie quarterback, making their first NFL start in NFL history with a minimum of 25 passing attempts. So there is that. Mac Jones, in NFL history, there has been 61 rookie quarterbacks to attempt at least 30 passes in their first career start. No one has ever completed 70% of their passes until tonight. Mac Jones completed 74% of his throws, the best among rookies. Not only was he completing his passes, but, man, let me tell you, Mac Jones did not miss once. He had maybe one bad throw in the entire game. Other than that, he was on point, play after play after play. He was accurate. At the line of scrimmage, he was taking command like a young Tom Brady, pointing out the blitz, winking at a Landon Roberts when he knew he was coming. He was getting hot. He saw Jason McCourty coming on the blitz. He saw it. He ripped it out there to Nelson Aguilar on a quick little flat. Mac Jones at the line of scrimmage is already playing like a pro. His accuracy is already elite in the NFL. Elite. E-L-I-T-E. Yes, I can spell. Elite Mac Jones. Accuracy. And that is what's going to give him an opportunity to be one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL here within the next decade. Mac Jones has got deadly accuracy. He's smart as hell. And he's got superb pocket movement. He's a rookie quarterback. His first game, playing a dynamic defense that sends the house, that sends all these different blitzes at you. He was calling them out at the line. He was checking at the line. He was moving, not only checking and moving, pocket movement was elite. He was dipsy-doodling around Emmanuel Ogbah. Emmanuel Ogbah coming off the edge hot. Whoop, just move a little bit. Pop it over to James White. First down. Check the third down numbers. I think he had 60%, 70% on third down. That's the quarterback down in the NFL. Mac Jones was on the money on third down. Mac Jones was making downfield seam balls to Nelson Aguilar. Floaters to James White. Outs to Hunter Henry. He was doing it all. I was so impressed by Mac Jones. That's exactly how McDaniels wants you to run his offense. Everything was on point. Everything was consistent. The accuracy was superb. I could not say more than I already have about Mac Jones. I think he has a very bright future in the NFL. The guy was awesome versus Miami. I was impressed by the pocket movement. I was impressed by the accuracy. I was impressed by the leadership. And then he scores his first NFL touchdown and he doesn't want the ball because he's not about the individual achievements. He's about the team achievements. And yes, they lost, but it wasn't all Mac Jones' fault. It wasn't Mac Jones' fault at all. I thought he played amazing. Okay? Especially as a rookie. So, what happened then? What happened? If Mac Jones played so good, what happened to the Patriots? All right? The Patriots and the Dolphins. So, it wasn't Mac Jones. Damian Harris sold. Okay? He fumbled. They had the ball at like the 8-yard line. They run it up the gut. Damian Harris fumbles the ball and they lose the game. Okay, if Damian Harris does not fumble the ball there, I strongly, firmly believe that the New England Patriots are 1-0. But not only did that happen, this was on Belichick. Okay, this is on Belichick. I am blaming Belichick for the Patriots starting 0-1. I am 100%. I love Bill Belichick. He's the GOAT. But I am blaming him 100% for this loss. It's not on the quarterback. It's not on the defense even. Okay? Well, a little bit. Bill Belichick has Ramondre Stevenson in there. Ramondre Stevenson probably played 3 plays in the game. One of them, he fumbled the ball. All right? And I don't think that was a fumble. I still don't think that was a fumble. But the refs deemed it to be irreversible. So Miami got the ball. New England was driving. They were about, I think, just slightly over midfield, somewhere around midfield. But either way, that gave the Dolphins a great field position. Now, that was a swing of momentum in the game. Okay? Damian Harris fumbled later in the game. Why do I think he fumbled? Because Ramondre Stevenson only played 3 plays for the rest of the game, and Damian Harris had to carry the team on his back in terms of the running game because he didn't have a spell back, because Ramondre Stevenson sat on the bench because Bill Belichick didn't want to play him for the rest of the game. And here's the problem. Ramondre Stevenson shouldn't have been playing. J.J. Taylor is better than Ramondre Stevenson. He should have been playing. The second play out of the 3 plays that he played, Stevenson, that's a lot of playing. Stevenson got ran over in pass protection by Landon Roberts. So 2 out of his 3 plays were negatives for Ramondre Stevenson. He didn't play for the rest of the game. And if it's me, I'm not playing him next game. He's got to learn from his mistakes. He's a rookie. I get it. Okay. But how is J.J. Taylor not playing in this game? Okay. He could spell Damian Harris. He could spell James White. He's the perfect mix of both. That's who you want as your third running back. You don't want Ramondre Stevenson, who's never played in an NFL game, playing behind Damian Harris. So in a way, I'm not blaming Damian Harris for fumbling. I'm blaming Bill Belichick for not having a decent spell back for Damian Harris because he's tired in the 4th quarter. That's my opinion on it. Now, Bill Belichick, what else you do wrong? 8 penalties. That's uncharacteristic. The Patriots don't take 8 penalties. A lot of them were killers. There was a holding call that was a phantom holding call. I don't think that was a penalty. And all the announcers were saying the same thing. So it's not just me being biased. That would have been a touchdown. It was a touchdown, in fact. They brought it back. So that was not really Belichick's fault. But 8 penalties. The Dolphins only had like 3. Okay, so you had 2 fumbles. They actually fumbled 4 times in the game. But 2 of them, I think, went to Miami. And 8 penalties compared to Miami's 3 and Miami's 1 big turnover in the game. All right? So to me, New England actually dominated the game. They look like the better team in the AFC East. They forced more punts. They had more time of possession. They gained more yards. But at the end of the day, Miami played within the lines better. Right? They didn't make mistakes, and that's why they won the game. So I credit that to Brian Flores. I also was a little bit confused about the Patriots' defensive game plan in the game, but I won't go into that now. I want to give a little bit of time to Tua and the comparison to Mac Jones in this game, because I know a lot of people are interested in that. So this is a stat I found, and this was really the difference for me in the game in terms of the 2 quarterbacks. So when pressured in week 1, Mac Jones was 8 for 13. He was pressured 13 times in the game while throwing. 8 for 13, 74 yards and a touchdown. Tua was 1 for 5, 30 and an interception. I thought Tua played well in this game for the most part. He made the plays that were there. He made a couple deep shot plays, kind of like throw it up balls to Devontae Parker and Jalen Waddle, who made nice plays at the end of things there to help him out. But at least he was aggressive. He threw it down the field. He tried to make plays. Mac Jones was phenomenal under pressure in the game, which is what was so impressive to me about his performance. Tua, on the other hand, was 1 for 5, 30 yards and an interception in the game. And this is what scares me if you're a Dolphins fan, okay? So, again, guys, you know me as the Tua hater. Now, I'm trying to give Tua some credit here. I thought when it was within structure, I thought when the play was designed well, I thought when there was an open receiver to hit, Tua was accurate, Tua was on the money, Tua made plays, and he took his shots. Okay? He even scrambled in for a touchdown. That was nice. But at the same time, all right, when we saw New England pressure Tua, like at the end of the game in the 4th quarter, which gave the opportunity to New England to win this game, where Damian Harris ends up fumbling and it would have cost them the game. See, this is the narrative here. If the Dolphins end up losing the game because Damian Harris doesn't fumble, then everyone's blaming Tua for the loss. But Tua won the game and got bailed out by the running back. All right, I'm just throwing that out there. I really just am throwing that out there. But that would be my concern if you're a Miami's fan. Because Tua can be serviceable and can make the plays when they're there when he's not under pressure. But what does he do under pressure? And that's what I think teams are going to continue to exploit. The weaknesses on Miami are their quarterback and their offensive line. And if those don't improve, you're not going to get better as a football team. And you're not going to be a legitimate threat in the AFC. Right? I think they're good enough elsewhere on their team. Receiver, cornerback, defensively, special teams, coaching. They're good enough elsewhere to win 9-10 games and potentially make the playoffs. But they'll never be legitimate if Tua is not decent under pressure and can make the correct decisions. I saw Mac stand in there and take hits and make throws. I saw Tua try to run away from pressure, try to make something happen and panic. And that's not what you want to see. It's the opposite from what you want to see. So to me, Mac was the better quarterback. The Dolphins were the better team in this game. And that's what went down. All right? Let me know what you think about the Mac and Tua discussion. We will see them one more time later this season, hopefully, if they're both healthy. But that's what I saw. So let me know. I think both of these teams, to be honest with you, I think both of these teams could make the playoffs. But if I were to rank them, even though the Dolphins won the game this week, if I were to rank them moving forward, I would still pick New England to be the better team because I thought for a majority of the game, they were the better team. Okay. Next, Zach Wilson impressed. Okay, why did Zach Wilson impress? We know that Carolina's defense is good. They've got a legitimate front seven. And if anybody doesn't know that, you haven't been studying up the NFL this offseason. Brian Burns, Hassan Reddick, Derek Brown. They added Morgan Fox to the mix. Shaq Thompson. They've got a legitimate pass rush, right? Zach Wilson lost Mekhi Becton in this game. He was running for his life. But what I was impressed about for Zach Wilson was the second half. He learned from his mistakes in the first half. He performed better in the second half, almost to the point where they came back in the game. They only lost by, I think, 19-14 in the game. Zach Wilson made some really impressive throws on the move. He made some really impressive throws under pressure. And I felt like he looked composed. And for a rookie, he impressed me because he showed what everybody was saying about Zach Wilson is he's small, he can't really take a hit. When he gets hit, he's going to suffer. He's not going to be the same guy, blah, 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 blah. He was never under pressure in college. Well, sure, he's going to go through his bumps in the road. They played a good defense. He was clearly outmanned. He was clearly out-schemed on that side of the ball. But I felt like when the chips were on the table, he made plays. He made throws in the second half. And under pressure, he delivered. And that's what I like to see. Even though they lost the game, and even though the stats aren't super impressive, I thought Zach Wilson showed his impressive arm strength. I thought he showed his impressive mobility. And I thought he showed his toughness. And those are things that I all like to see. The physical attributes, as well as the mental toughness to persevere through the difficult. And a lot of young quarterbacks are not able to do that. They fold up and they go home. And that was a big problem with Sam Darnold with the Jets in his career, early in his career. But by the way, Sam Darnold played well for the Panthers in that game. I think the Panthers are a sneaky team. Definitely look out for them. The Jets, on the other hand, not so much. I don't think they're very good at all, especially without Becton at left tackle. But I think Zach Wilson is very promising, and as a Jets fan, you should be looking forward to the future. So, Zach Wilson, good week one. Next. I'm sorry, Sean Payton. I'm sorry. I don't know why I ever doubted Sean Payton. Sean Payton's my guy. I love Sean Payton. I always come on here, I say Sean Payton is the second greatest offensive coach of all time, and I stand by that. Sean Payton is the man. And to be quite honest with you, there are 3 coaches in the NFL who stand above the rest. It's Bill Belichick, it's Andy Reid, and it's Sean Payton. Those are the 3 coaches that stand above the rest, in my opinion. Sean Payton did it again. Sean Payton, without Drew Brees, he really did just absolutely confirm what I've been saying on the Bottom Line View for the past 2 to 3 years, that Sean Payton has carried Drew Brees more so than Drew Brees carrying Sean Payton. He really proved that in this game. They absolutely coached circles around Matt LaFleur and the Green Bay Packers in this game. The New Orleans coaching staff was phenomenal. They whooped their candy asses on the line of scrimmage. They had an offensive game plan that was perfect. Run the ball heavy. Shoot the ball down the field with Jameis Winston. Let's extend that field, right? Throw the ball down the field. Make some plays. Deontay Harris with a big score. Couple from the tight end. Sean Payton, I'm sorry, man. I don't know why, but I did underestimate your powers. You are a magician, and I am sorry. I will never, ever, ever again underestimate the powers of Sean Payton. Because once again, week 1, with everybody doubting him, a new quarterback, a bunch of new pieces on offense, a bunch of new pieces on defense, the great coaches rise above. And Sean Payton did it, and Sean Payton wrecked the Green Bay Packers. He took Matt LaFleur to school. So for that, I'm sorry, Sean Payton. I will never doubt you again. The Saints might be legit, and it's just because of Sean Payton. Period. Next. Jameis Winston, baby. Jameis Winston, baby. This is how Jameis was looking at Aaron Rodgers. Jameis Winston outplayed Aaron Rodgers in Florida. He was the better quarterback on the field, by far. Jameis Winston took a year off. He got eye surgery. Everyone was doubting him. They thought the surgery was a joke. Jameis Winston just outclassed the MVP in week 1. All right. Guys. I've had it. I'm done. I'm hiding it no longer. The Green Bay Packers are soft. The Packers are charming soft. The Packers are pretenders. After 1 week, I've seen enough. I'm done. Fake MVP, bro. Fake MVP. You can take your MVP and shove it. Aaron Rodgers this offseason. Oh, people only want to play in Green Bay because of me. How about you actually come to week 1 with your head on straight? How about you come in week 1 and not get your absolute ass handed to you? How about you don't look like you haven't thrown the ball all offseason? This is what kills me about Aaron Rodgers. This is why, guys, I'm not an Aaron Rodgers fan. Aaron Rodgers is the most talented dude. But Aaron Rodgers doesn't seem like he gives a shit. He does not care. He's on vacation. He's eating ice cream the night before the game. Aaron Rodgers does not have that drive. He does not have that mentality of a Tom Brady, of a Michael Jordan. And that's why he's not the GOAT. And the Packers, what do? But they take on the identity of their quarterback and their coach. The Packers are soft because Aaron Rodgers is soft. What do I mean by that? Do you ever notice that when Aaron Rodgers gets hit a lot in a game, he just goes home? Like, he just doesn't, he stops trying. Like, he just stops. Like, he doesn't care. Like, this guy is not coming back. I know I troll you guys all the time. I say the game's 10-0, the game's 14-0. Bro, it's over. Aaron Rodgers doesn't come back. I don't even do the research yourself. Aaron Rodgers doesn't make comebacks. And it's for a reason. He's soft. He's soft. The team is soft. They take on the identity of the quarterback and the coach. LaFleur is soft. LaFleur is soft. He doesn't... Bro, they got pushed around. They got bullied. Their lunch money was stolen on Sunday. Sean Payton took it. Ryan Ramczyk took it. Cam Jordan took it. Because the Packers, they can't play tough teams. They can't play tough teams. They got bullied by the Bucs last year. Now they get bullied by the Saints. They can't play tough teams. They don't know how to do it. They're soft. And it's because the quarterback's soft and the coach is soft. And I continue to tell you, when it's 14-0, just go home. Stop watching the game. Turn it off. Turn it off. Aaron Rodgers is not coming back. He's done. He doesn't even want to be there. All he talks about is himself all offseason, and then he lays an absolute egg in the first game of the season. I'm done. I'm done with this guy. I don't want to hear it anymore. The Packers aren't doing shit this year because they're soft. Whenever they play a tough game, whenever they got something, they don't have the heart. They don't have the togetherness. They don't have the continuity anymore because their quarterback stripped it from them. The quarterback said, I don't want to play here. So why, if I'm the defensive end and I'm down 14-0 in week 1 to the Saints and I'm getting absolutely shit kicked by Teron Armstead, why do I want to play for my quarterback if he doesn't want to play for my team? He's soft. And he makes the rest of his team soft because his persona. I'm done with him. He's done in my mind. I don't want to hear it. If anyone ever compares this guy to Tom Brady, I will lose my shit. I am done. Stop it. Done. Okay? Done. Look at him. Does this guy look like a guy that wants to win? Does this guy look like a guy that's been working out all offseason? Does this guy look like a guy that wants to be the GOAT? Does this guy look like a guy that's looking to win the Super Bowl this year? Does this guy look like a guy that was ready for the Saints? He took the Saints, he took Jameis for granted. But now all Jameis is doing now is eating W's. That's all he's doing. I don't even know what to think about the NFC North because that division is a joke, bro. I am done with Aaron Rodgers. Look at Tom and look at Aaron. Tom is 7 years older. He's won 7 rings. And that dude's won 1. Why? Because one cares and one doesn't. Simple. It's simple mathematics. Talking about the NFC North, man. The NFC North is an absolute disaster. Okay? My number 1 bet of the week, which, by the way, I was 4-2 in best bets, 1-0 in my teaser, so I did well. But the Bengals upset the Vikings. What happened? What happened, Minnesota? You played the Bengals. The Bengals? Everyone was talking about how Jamar Chase couldn't catch the football because it's too big. Well, what was it again? It didn't have lines on it. Well, I don't know, something like that. They said Jamar Chase sucked in training camp. They said that Joe Burrow's scared of his own shadow. They're playing Zach Taylor. You lost to Zach Taylor in the first week? Like, the only reason the Vikings are given a break here and a pass is because the Packers were so bad. But the Vikings, I mean, oh my God. The Vikings lost to the Bengals. Like, Zimmer's got to go. It's time for a new coach. I mean, I thought he had the defense figured out. He brought in all his guys. Here's the thing. Rob is right. Zimmer brought in all his guys. He brought in Patrick Peterson. He brought in Bashad Breeland. He brought in Everson Griffin. He brought in Dalvin Tomlinson. He got back Michael Pierce. He got Daniel Hunter in there. He's got all these guys on defense. They can't defend. They can't stop Joe Mixon without an offensive line. They can't defend rookie receivers who didn't play well in camp. They're getting shredded by Joe Burrow with no knee. The Vikings are pathetic. How do you lose this game? You have the Packers lose. Lions lose. Bears lose. You have a chance to be first in this division. Take hold. You lose to the Bengals. The Bengals. Zimmer, you gone. Cousins. Okay, here's the problem. The offense is more vanilla than Vanilla Ice. And like, all they do is run stretch. And then they get in shotgun. And Cousins gets pressured in half a millisecond. Because they still don't have an offensive line. They still don't have an offensive line, guys. How long have we been saying that the Vikings need an offensive line? They still don't have one. Still. It's been like 8 years. Can they get an offensive line? Like, you would think that you would address that by now, right? Are you kidding me, bro? Dalvin Cook's not going to do it all. I mean, look at this stat. Look at this stat. I had it right here. Where is it? Right here. Bro, he doesn't have an offensive line. Joe Mixon had 8 rushing missed tackles because the Vikings aren't prepared to play football in week 1. The Vikings couldn't tackle Joe Mixon. Zimmer, you're gone. Get rid of him. How are you not prepared to play Joe Mixon? Joe Mixon's going to get the ball. You play the Bengals. Just think about this. The Bengals are going to give the ball to Mixon 30 times a game. You might want to know how to tackle. It's maybe a good idea. Joe Burrow shredded you. You're a defensive mastermind. You got shredded. The offense, Garbaggio, bro. I've seen better offense from the local elementary school. I mean, God. What are these, like, how do I trust the Vikings to win a game? They are so bad. I can't with the Vikings anymore. I'm done. I'm done with the Vikings. I can't trust you to beat the Bengals. Guys, the Bengals aren't good. The Bengals, Trey Hendrickson was looking like 1986 Lawrence Taylor versus this offensive line. You don't get the ball to Justin Jefferson. I barely saw Justin Jefferson in this game. Jamar Chase is running past people. He's open by 10 yards. Zac Taylor tried to lose the game. He went for it on fourth down in his own territory, and they still won. I'll say this. Credit to Joe Burrow, man. Joe Burrow coming off an ACL. That's not easy to do. I said how hard it is to do. Joe Burrow showed more testicles than Aaron Rodgers has in his whole career today. Or I should say Sunday. Joe Burrow's a leader. That's why I like Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow's a leader. What does he say after the game? He says, I thought that guy couldn't get open or couldn't catch. Because Jamar Chase was just stalking. He stands up for his players. He leads by example. Kirk Cousins doesn't do that. Joe Burrow, man. Credit Joe. I'm giving a hand to Joe Burrow. Good work, Joe Burrow. You're the man. I always believed in you. Vikings, you're a joke. I'm done. I'm done with the Vikings. Next. Okay. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Durkant, where you at? Ultra, where you at? Lenny, where you at? BLV Discord, where you at? The Titans are the best offense in the league. The Titans are going to beat the Chiefs. The Titans are going to the Super Bowl. What happened? What happened to the Titans? They were at home. The Titans were at home. The Titans got ran over by Chandler Jones. Who better than a former Patriot to set the example for me saying I was right? The Titans are frauds. The Titans are frauds. I didn't think the Cardinals would show us this. I didn't think the Cardinals would be the ones to say it and do it. Where are you at? The Titans are going to win the Super Bowl. Durkant said the Titans were going to beat the Bucs. They said, oh, don't worry. Don't worry. Julio's better than Corey Davis and Jonnu Smith. I'll say this. Corey Davis and Jonnu Smith look pretty good on their new teams. They were missing Arthur Smith. Their replacement, Todd Downing. Todd Downing. The Titans last year ran the most play action in football. This year, they run the least amount of play action in week 1. Remember the Titans? Tannehill's an Arthur Smith product. Todd Downing was terrible. The offensive line, Taylor Lewan, the great savior, got absolutely shredded to the point that he had to tell Chandler Jones that he destroyed him. Chandler Jones, 5 sacks. Kyler Murray, the new pass rush. Guys, all I heard on the offseason, all I heard was the new pass rush of the Titans. We got Bud Dupree, we've got Jeffrey Simmons, and we've got Harold Landry, and we're coming. They didn't even touch Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray was just dancing around like friggin', bro, what's going on? The Titans were a disaster in the first game. A disaster. They couldn't block. They couldn't cover. They couldn't rush the passer. They didn't even target Julio or A.J. Brown till the second quarter. What? What are you doing? I mean, I want to give credit to the Arizona Cardinals, but it's just hilarious. The Titans are frauds. They stink. But you know what's good for them? They're in the worst division I've maybe ever seen in my entire life. This division is dreadful. Dreadful. What's worse than dreadful? Trash. Chandler Jones, though, the Arizona Cardinals, I got to give credit. Because Because, man, Vance Joseph was having the time of his life on Sunday. He really was. He was having the time of his life. Why was he having the time of his life? Because not only was Chandler Jones balling, but J.J. Watt was balling. Not only that, but the Cardinals, I didn't think this was going to be the case. I'm not going to pretend I was like this Cardinals backer, okay? So for those of you that are, I think they're legit, man. And why do I think they're legit? Because Vance Joseph's having the time of his life with this defense because their safeties and their linebackers are like interchangeable pieces. It's a very unique scheme that they're offering now. Isaiah Simmons was awesome. Isaiah Simmons was awesome in this game. They've got Zaven Collins. They've got Jordan Hicks. They've got Budda Baker, who's basically a linebacker himself, but also plays safety. You know what I mean? So they can interchange these guys. Simmons can play strong safety. Baker can play linebacker. They can move Simmons around to the nickel spot. They can put Budda Baker in the nickel spot. Their corners aren't very good. But with the insurmountable pressure, the creativity of Vance Joseph, and the hybrid playmakers they offer in the middle of the field, it's something interesting. And I think they're going to be pretty good on that side of the ball because they've got good coaching. And then on the other side, Kyler Murray was amazing. He had the most big-time throws in the NFL in week one, one more than Tom Brady. The offensive line whooped that ass. They were running it with Chase Edmonds. They were passing it when they wanted to. They've got a plethora of weapons to go to, except for AJ Green, who sucks. But other than that, they've got D-Hop, who's D-Hop. They got Moore, who's got a hybrid playmaker. Edmonds looks real good out of the backfield. Who else? Christian Kirk had a big game. The offense is I like the creativity. I've been saying I don't like Cliff. I don't think Cliff is great, blah, 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 blah. I was wrong in week one. I thought Cliff did a good job. Now, he was good in week one last year too, so let's see how it develops throughout the season. But I do have confidence in the defense, and I definitely have confidence in Kyler Murray. So if those two things keep going, this team's got a shot. And maybe 4 teams in the NFC West could make the playoffs. That's maybe possible. Especially the NFC North should just give up. Like, they should just not be allowed to send a team to the playoffs because we already talked about it, but you understand. So give me 4 NFC West teams, get rid of the NFC North, just call it quits for the year, put it on hold, wait till 2022. But Chandler Jones is the man, all right? This guy doesn't get enough respect. This guy doesn't get enough credit. 5 sacks. He has the most sacks, I think, in the NFL since like 2014. Chandler Jones is an animal. Give this man some respect. Put some respect on his name, all right? 5 sacks. Defensive player of the year, maybe. That's what he's at right now. He's a Hall of Famer. He's a Hall of Famer. He's got how many sacks now? Come on, man. He's got a Super Bowl. He's done it on 2 teams, 2 schemes. Chandler Jones was better than the Titans by himself. The rest of the team didn't even need to show up. It was just added value. Derrick Henry stunk. Guy, this is why I don't draft Derrick Henry high in fantasy. Because eventually the wheels are going to fall off. He can't catch the damn ball. They're going to lose. They're going to be behind. They're going to trail. And he can't do anything else. He's got to get going. He's got to get the train rolling. The train wasn't rolling. Versus Vance Joseph. Oh, God. Bro, this is just rant after rant. This is just horrendous NFL team after horrendous NFL team. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Do we really have to talk about this? Oh, bro. The New York Giants, man. The New York Giants are the biggest joke of a franchise. Bro, the New York Giants. Joe Judge doesn't know the rules, first off. Joe Judge doesn't know the NFL rules. Okay? They have Nate Solder out here blocking Von Miller. Guys, Search up Nate Solder on Twitter right now. The guy is a pylon. He is a turnstile. The Giants are a giant joke. They have a right tackle. You're telling me that I couldn't go to any university and find a better right tackle than Nate Solder. This guy's making like $10 million. He's getting embarrassed. I love Nate Solder. Solder didn't even know how to block, it looked like. I mean, oh my God. They don't know how to evaluate their own players. Like, how do you not help your offensive line? Your offensive line for the last 5 years has been absolutely dreadful. How do you not bring players in? How do you not sign anybody? Instead, you sign Kenny Golladay, and then in the first round, you draft a receiver. Why? You can't block. Are you kidding me? Daniel Jones has fumbled more than Jamarcus Russell in his first 30 games. The guy just wants to give you the football. Daniel, wake up. The defense wasn't even all that bad, but they got shredded by Teddy Two Gloves. I mean, they made Teddy Bridgewater look like 2004 Peyton Manning. The guy was precise as I've ever seen. What are you doing? You've got no edge rush. Teddy Bridgewater sitting back there making himself a cup of coffee, doing his laundry, whatever he wants to do, and then throwing a dot to Noah Fant, who's a stud. We're going to talk about the Broncos in a sec. Your cornerbacks are left out to dry because you got no pass rush. Your coach doesn't know the rules. Again, guys, what am I referring to? Joe Judge didn't know when to challenge. Bro, are you kidding me? You don't know that you're an NFL coach. You don't know that the challenge is automatic? Read the rule book. Didn't you come from New England? Didn't Belichick teach you this? How do you not know that? I feel bad for Saquon, man. He actually looked pretty good in his return. Like, the numbers won't say that. I went back and watched the game. Sterling Shepard was awesome. He was maybe the bright spot of the game. Bro, Daniel Jones was so bad. And not only that, the offensive line was worse. Like, I can't. They're a giant joke. I'm done with this team, too. They're done. They suck. Like, they should just try to lose every game. They're bad. I didn't even talk about Jason Garrett. Oh, Jason Garrett. The year is 2021. Can we get a little bit more creativity? I mean, God. Can we get a little bit more passion? Can we get a little bit more flavor? I mean, more vanilla than Vanilla Ice. I'm telling you. Like, this offense is dreadful, bro. Get a new offensive coordinator. Get a new offensive line. Get a new quarterback. And then we'll talk. The entire offense might be the worst in the damn league. It's that bad. It's so bad. I can't watch it another second. I don't want to watch Thursday night because they're so bad. Next. Don't sleep on Denver, guys. Now, I just talked about how the Giants are terrible. They are. They're dreadful. Bet your house on Washington. But don't sleep on Denver. The Broncos are legit. Teddy Bridgewater played well. Teddy Bridgewater was composed. He didn't play outside of himself. He didn't try to do too much. He hit what was there. Now, Jerry Jeudy being out will hurt them. I saw that live. That was a horrific injury. He's going to be out for probably half the season. But they've got depth at wide receiver. Like, don't sleep on KJ Hamler. That guy can fly. I love Tim Patrick. He's like the best fourth receiver in the league. So don't sleep on their receivers even without Jerry Jeudy. Cortland Sutton's getting back, getting better, right? Noah Fant is a stud. I think, from a talent perspective, Noah Fant's like a top 5 tight end in the league. He can do it all. He can run after the catch. He can go down the field. He can block. I mean, he's a stud. You've got even this backup guy they've got is pretty good. They got 2 running backs. Melvin Gordon still got some speed, some burst. He looks rejuvenated. Javonte Williams is the real deal. He makes people miss constantly. They've got a decent enough O-line, a decent enough scheme under Shermer, who's the Giants' old coach. I like the Broncos. Like, I think my main question was their offense, but the Giants' defense is pretty good, right? For as bad as their offense is, their defense is pretty good. And the Broncos dominated that game. Like, they moved the ball consistently through the air and on the ground. They protected well. The defense was great. Again, I mean, what else do you expect? But they didn't have Chubb. They're going to be missing Ronald Darby, but Vic Fangio's defense, they're one of the best, if not the best in football. I think the Broncos could actually make the playoffs. I don't think that's crazy to say. I really, really think the Broncos are pretty good. After the first game, from what I saw, as long as Teddy can consistently play at this level, they'll be a tough team to beat. For anybody, really. Next. Oh boy. Are the Steelers legit? Are they too legit to quit? Let's find out. All right. The Pittsburgh Steelers beat the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo in week 1 of the 2021 NFL season. Was it more Steelers or was it bad Bills? I want to do myself a favor and look up the stats. I think it was a bit of both. Okay? The Pittsburgh Steelers, the reason they won this game is because their defensive line whooped the Buffalo Bills. Period. That's why they won. If you had to isolate one situation, one matchup, and say, Mitch, why did the Steelers win this game? Their D-line whooped the Buffalo Bills. And I have a lot flowing through my head right now. Are the Steelers legit? Are the Bills not as good as last year? What happened to Josh Allen? Can I trust Pittsburgh? Guys, if I'm being completely honest with you, I think it was more bad Bills than it was good Steelers. Okay? And I'm not trying to take anything away from the Steelers. But, and I want to pull up the stats here, because I want to confirm what my eyes were telling me in this game. The Steelers are a solid team. They're well coached. The defense is very good. It's elite. What really impressed me about their defense was not just how they whooped on the D-line, but how they covered in the back end. I thought, I had a lot of questions coming into the season about Sutton and about their new cornerbacks. Pierre, I think, is one of them. You throw in Minka, you throw in Edmonds, obviously Joe Hayden. But I was really impressed with how they married the pass rush, and they didn't really blitz a ton. I love how they married the 4-man rush with the coverage on the back end, right? They took advantage of their biggest mismatch, which was their D-line versus the Bills' average offensive line. So let's check these stats real quick. Because for a majority of the game, it felt like the Bills were the better team and they were going to win. Now, some things happened. There was a pump block. That definitely contributed, but that's just good special teams. I felt like there was this weird vibe in the game where, like, Buffalo felt like they were meant to win the game and they never really put forth that effort. I think they got knocked back a couple notches here by the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers came out, they played hard. The Bills did not, in my opinion, from what I saw. But okay, so the game started 10-0, right? Buffalo could have taken control from here on out. The game was 10-6 in the third quarter. And then Pittsburgh basically beat them 17-6 in the fourth quarter. Right? Buffalo outgained them by 120 yards. They outpossessed them by 7 minutes. They had 6 more first downs. This is not to take something away from Pittsburgh and their win. They got the win. But I don't think Pittsburgh's a contender. I would call them potentially a playoff team, and that's probably what they're going to be. But in terms of being an AFC contender, what concerns me about Pittsburgh is their offense. The Pittsburgh Steelers offense did not send off good vibes. Ben Roethlisberger was not very good in this game. He went 18 for 32, 188 yards and a touchdown. Najee Harris couldn't get anything going on the ground. 16 carries, 45 yards. Their receivers made plays when they were asked to. But the Bills' defense, which is not a great defense, did not allow them to run the ball very effectively and efficiently. They got pressure on Ben constantly, which is a concern. The Steelers' offensive line is a major concern. And both in the pass game and the run game, it buries their offense. The reason the Steelers won't be a true AFC contender is because their offense won't be consistent enough. And at the end of the day, in this NFL, you need a good offense, period. Now, this was a successful game for the Steelers. They won it. But if I were to say at the end of the year, who's going to end up being a better team, it's going to be the Bills. Even though they lost this game. I think they'll figure it out on offense. Now, what I didn't like from the Bills' perspective, which is also why I think it was more Bills losing than the Steelers winning, is Josh Allen just missed like a few throws. Like 3-4 throws, he just missed them. He was off. His accuracy was off. Now, part of this was like the pressure as well. But Allen just felt off on gimme throws from a year ago. He felt off in his accuracy. And you have to wonder, is that regression settling in for Josh Allen this year? And that could potentially be the case. Like, maybe we shouldn't expect Josh Allen to be last year's Josh Allen. Maybe we should expect him to be somewhere in the middle from 2 years ago and last year. Right? So it wouldn't be an utter MVP candidate, but it's still a very good quarterback, right? You can't rely on a guy to pass the ball every play to also be the running game versus one of the best defenses in the league with a great pass rush when your offensive line isn't great. Like, I can understand it if your offensive line is like phenomenal and you can just drop back and pass all day, then go ahead and do it versus the Steelers. But the Steelers got pressure constantly, and really all the Bills could do was throw it underneath because they didn't have the time to throw those deep balls. And Pittsburgh played great on defense. And we knew Buffalo wasn't going to run the ball a lot, right? We knew they weren't going to come out there and just continuously run the ball because that would be dumb to do. Josh Allen was asked to be Superman, and he wasn't capable of doing it on that day, right? He wasn't capable of being Superman versus the Steelers because of the matchup. The matchup didn't allow him to do so because everyone around him lost, right? Everyone around him lost. And what was concerning about Josh Allen, even more so than the accuracy, was at times the decision making. I felt like Josh Allen was, when Patrick Mahomes plays bad, like Patrick Mahomes, you take away his first read and he kind of like scrambles around and like just throws it. Josh Allen was like trying to force the ball down the field too much. He was trying to make that big play too much. It was almost like Josh Allen was trying to live up to his expectations and he fell short of it. And he just wasn't taking what the defense was giving him every play. And that was a fault of Josh Allen, right? There was a lot of times where I just saw just take the 5-yard completion and live another day. But he was trying to go for the home run. He was trying to go for the deep seam ball in between two defenders. And the Steelers were like, we're not going to give that to you. You got to check it down. You got to make the right choice every single play. And Josh Allen wasn't willing to do that. Sometimes you got to realize as the quarterback that you're not going to be able to win this game on big plays alone. And you're not going to be able to just slice a defense for big plays. You have to take what's there. And sometimes with these guys that are such great playmakers with great arms, they try to do it all in these minimal amount of plays, and they don't just take what's there. And to me, that was part of what I saw in this game. But again, guys, like, the Steelers played well. They deserved to win. I thought the Bills at one point were definitely going to take it because of how bad the Steelers offense looked. And my assessment of it is the Bills found their match in week 1. They will evolve. They will develop. They will get better. They will find out and tweak what they need to do. Pittsburgh, I think, is probably better than I gave them credit for. But I do have my concerns about their offensive line, their offense in general, when it comes time to play the big teams in the AFC. So I think the Steelers are better than I thought. But I don't think we should overreact to Pittsburgh being a contender. Because I know people are, and I don't think that's correct. So I'm somewhere in the middle. Maybe the Bills aren't as good as we thought. Maybe the Steelers aren't as bad as we thought. All right? So that's kind of where I'm at in terms of that game. It could have went either way, and I think that's what people are missing from it. But don't overreact. This is a game to definitely not overreact to. All right, so we covered what's up with Josh Allen. So the next one, what else? All right. Okay, before we get to Stafford, guys, if you haven't already, make sure that you do Gronk spike that like button. And also subscribe to the channel for more Bottom Line View and more Bottom Line NFL weekly reviews. Just like this, every single week I'll be here reviewing the latest in the NFL, the past week in the NFL. I will be here live. All right, we'll get to your questions later on at the end of the show. Let me know what you thought about week 1. Also, check out the Discord chat. Link is in the description. That's where the community is at, in the Discord. If you want to contact me, talk to me. If you want to talk to anyone else in the community that you see in the live chat right now, get in the Discord. That's where we're at every day. All right? Also, give us a follow on Instagram where you can get the Ultra 10 and a lot more. So see you over on Instagram and in the Discord. Okay. Matthew Stafford shines in his debut. Matthew Stafford is who I thought he was. I've been sitting here for the last 2 to 3 years on the Bottom Line View saying, Matthew Stafford's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Matthew Stafford's the most underappreciated quarterback in the league. Matthew Stafford is underrated. Matthew Stafford is that dude. And what do I get for my claims? I get from Durkant, Matthew Stafford's overrated. I get from Ultra, Matthew Stat Padford. I get from everybody. Matthew Stafford is not it. Matthew Stafford is not the answer. Matthew Stafford will never be the answer. Well, I'll tell you this. Not only is he the answer, he is the Los Angeles Rams. Matthew Stafford has made the Rams now. I'm telling you this. This team will mold around Matthew Stafford, and they already have. This offense is already more complete than we ever saw it with Jared Goff, and it's thanks to Matthew Stafford. His arm talent, his ability to put the ball on the money, his ability to command the line of scrimmage, his ability to give confidence to an entire organization, an entire team, an offense, a defense, to move around the pocket, to be a pro, to be a vet, to not crumble under the pressure, to execute in 2-minute situations, to execute in the drop back pass game, to add layers, not only as a quarterback, but a coach in his own right, to complement Sean McVay, to not be a crutch to Sean McVay, but to be the answer for Sean McVay. Matthew Stafford is an MVP candidate. He showed off in week 1. He said, doubters, you see this? Boom! First drive, touchdown. Matthew Stafford showcased what he's going to do all year this year. What he's going to do with the Rams is be one of the damn best quarterbacks in the league. And that's the bottom line. Matthew Stafford is the man. I've been telling you this. I've been telling you this since I was a wee old little kid. I watched the Lions and I said, that's a disaster. Get Matthew Stafford out of there. Save Matthew Stafford. The Rams have saved Matthew Stafford, but Matthew Stafford has saved the Rams as well. The Rams, to me, are the second best team in the NFC. They are the clear competitor for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And we will see in week 3 how he looks. But man, he's a beautiful thrower of the football. Beautiful. Stop sleeping on Matthew Stafford now. Now, you knew how good Matthew Stafford was. Immediately when he got traded. Guys, listen to this. This is how you know a player is really good. Okay? People make fun of him, right? Then he gets traded, and then all of a sudden everybody says he's underrated. Well, why were they saying that? Because they knew they were wrong when he was on Detroit, blaming him for their losses. They knew they were wrong, so they gotta backtrack. They gotta backtrack, and then they gotta say, no, it wasn't Matthew Stafford. He's underrated. In LA, he's gonna be good. And we saw that already in week 1. That's how you know. Because when everyone's like, oh, this guy sucks, he can't win a big game, blah, 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 stat Padford, and then he gets traded, and then all of a sudden everybody loves him. Oh, why is that? Why is that? Why is that? Huh? Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Okay. Also, we had some analysis on Matthew Stafford during the Sunday night game, which I thought was really cool. All right. We had Golden Tate tweeting about Matthew Stafford. Golden Tate says, I'll say it again. Matthew Stafford. I like that tweet, by the way. He also said, Matthew Stafford. Thank you. Hashtag dimes only. Golden Tate knows how good Matthew Stafford is. I know how good Matthew Stafford is. But there is one. And I say one. One person who's been doubting Matthew Stafford. One person who makes fun of Matthew Stafford, one person who doubts the greatness, one person who constantly downplays the talent. There is one man, and one man only, that I will not let it slide. Ultra. Yes, Ultra. I got it. I got the receipts, Ultra. He said Stafford played well. The biggest Stafford hater of them all admitted that Stafford played well. The Bears are embarrassing. There was one team, there was one quarterback in the Los Angeles Rams, but there was another team, the Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears are an embarrassment. An absolute embarrassment. All right? Matt Nagy's got to go. I'm done with Matt Nagy. Stop defending Matt Nagy. Please. What is this offense? Can someone please explain why Justin Fields is not playing quarterback? I'm not even that high on Justin Fields, but why isn't he playing over Andy Dalton? Why are they playing Andy Dalton? Did we not watch Andy Dalton last year? Did we not watch Andy Dalton play with the Cowboys? Do we really think, Matt Nagy, do the roster analysis, bro. Do the roster analysis. Your defense isn't the same. You don't got Vic Fangio. Chuck Pagano's not coming through the door. Your secondary sucks. You're not going to win games 12-9 with Andy Dalton. You need a quarterback. You need someone to make plays. You need someone to do things outside of structure. We can't have Andy Dalton throw 5-yard hitch routes every play. The Bears are embarrassing. Their defense gave up 2 touchdowns where the Rams were open by like 40 yards. What are you doing? This is Sunday Night Football. The Bears are just embarrassing. The NFC North, guys, I've ranted about every single team except for the Lions. At least the Lions fight. At least they have heart. You can give them that. They suck, but at least they try. The Bears. Embarrassing. Oh, boy. I need some water for this one. The Raiders with the Monday Night Football victory. If you guys tuned in last night, that was a very fun live stream. That was a wild game. That was definitely the game of the week. It might be the damn game of the year, man. The Raiders with the victory over the Baltimore Ravens. I got the Derek Carr jersey in the background. He is the real deal, man. Derek Carr under pressure, making dot throws. Just absolute dots down the field. Under pressure. Bro, Derek Carr needs some respect. If Derek Carr was on a better team, Derek Carr would be a top 10 quarterback. Derek Carr played like a top 10 quarterback last night. And as far as I'm concerned, Derek Carr outplayed Lamar Jackson. He really did. He really did. He made throw after throw. It was the first 3 quarters, man. It was tight coverage. Man to man. Just like in your face, nowhere to be, nowhere to go. Derek Carr put the ball on the money. Lamar Jackson played sloppy football. He fumbled multiple times. Derek Carr delivered. The offensive line's not very good. He's under pressure. He's at the line of scrimmage getting those blitzes sorted out because you know that the Ravens are coming. So Derek Carr had to get that sorted out. checks at the line, gets everything blocked up, makes a play. Throw after throw, play after play, steps up under pressure, maneuvers the pocket, accurate throws. Derek Carr was the best quarterback on Monday night last night. The Raiders were the better team last night. The Raiders. I'm not really in love with their weaponry. Bro, Darren Waller might be a top 10 player in the league. This guy is a beast. He's a certified baller, the Waller. The defense. I gotta give credit where credit is due. Max Crosby wrecked shop. The D-line was phenomenal. They were getting pressure after the Ravens constantly. Yannick Ngakoue had a big game versus former team. The linebackers, Denzel Perryman, smacking guys. KJ Wright, big play. The secondary played better. The wide receivers, I'm not in love with. Like, Edwards finally showed up in overtime, fourth quarter. That was nice to see. I thought Renfro played well, but Henry Ruggs, The running backs were just okay. Derek Carr made plays. The Raiders deserve to win. Put some respect on their name. They're going to be competitive this year. They play the Steelers this week. Don't be surprised if that's a close game. The Ravens are not good. Okay? I had to see it to believe it. Yes, they played in a tough environment. They went to Las Vegas week 1. It was loud. They're hurt. And that's mostly why they're not good. They're hurt. But injuries are a part of the NFL. So people were still, even after the injuries, like I declined my expectations for the Ravens. Like, I moved them lower, right? I was like, they're not going to be that good this year after the injuries. People were shocked that the Ravens lost this game. Like, why? First off, they were only 4-point favorites in the game. Second of all, Villanueva was getting absolutely bullied the whole game by Max Crosby. I mean, just dummied the entire game. Their running backs are slower than me running backwards. I mean, Latavius Murray is done. Now, I will say, we're going to get to where the positives come in from the Ravens, but what I'm really concerned about the Ravens is their defense didn't look good at all. Their defense was not good, like, in my opinion. Like, I expected their defense, it was good at the beginning of the game, and I get they were playing a good quarterback, they were playing a good offense, so fair, but they kept sending heat after Carr and not getting there, and like Martindale continued to do it. He looked like Todd Bowles on Thursday. Like, he was getting diced up. Like, their defense is strong in the interior. It's good at cornerback. But as the game wore on, they got worse and worse and worse. And I don't think, like, bro, I'm just telling you, bet the damn house on the Chiefs this week. Like, you guys know I don't like the Chiefs. Like, I'm going to throw it out there. I don't want them to win. Fuck that. But, like, they're going to beat the snot out of the damn Ravens because the Ravens can't get pressure if they don't blitz. They can't. Like, that's why they had to blitz, because they couldn't get to Carr. They couldn't get within a freaking 1.5 feet without them blitzing. And when they blitzed, Carr and Gruden made them pay. I'll continue to say, Gruden is a great coach. The guy is a terrible general manager. Stop managing this team. Get someone else in there. Let someone else make the decisions. And don't tell me it's Mike Mayock. It's definitely not. Let somebody else make the decisions. You coach the team. Gruden's a great coach. The Ravens, their defense is what concerns me because it's not elite anymore. It's just okay. It's just decent. It might be good at the most, but that's not going to be good enough for this team. Now, the positive with the Ravens is the Ravens can be a sneaky team at the end of the year and squeak into the playoffs if they get their receivers healthy. This was the most impressive part from the Ravens on Monday night. Obviously, you have Lamar, who's going to make plays. He's going to move around. He's going to scramble. He's going to keep plays alive, right? Mark Andrews is a good player. Marquise Brown played very well. I thought Marquise Brown played very well, better than I've seen in a while. Sammy Watkins still got it. Like, he's a capable receiver on the perimeter. I like Rashad Bateman a lot. If Rashad Bateman can come in there, and he might be the key piece to this team still retaining a playoff spot. If Rashad Bateman can come in there with what they have with Marquise Brown, Sammy Watkins, Mark Andrews, and Lamar, they're going to have to rely on their passing attack more, but that might keep their season alive. Because I think they're going to have to pass more with their defense being not as good. That's my opinion on it. So I think the Ravens are average. They're not bad. They're not good. They're an average team. They could have won this game, for sure. But they're going to need a new approach, a new attack, in my opinion. They're going to need Lamar to do his thing. And he didn't last night when he needed to. So, Ravens are not good. Two more topics. Or one more, I should say. Final topic, and then we have questions, guys. The final topic is the Browns and the Chiefs. So, in the teaser for this video, I said the Chiefs did not win, the Browns lost. The Browns lost this game, the Chiefs did not win this game, and I firmly believe that. Now listen to my argument. How many times do I need to come on to this video, this channel, this exact damn show, The Bottom Line, every Tuesday night, cheap plug, and preach that Tyreek Hill is the best wide receiver in the NFL? And you know what? Tyreek Hill might not just be the best receiver. He might be the best player in the league. Okay, for all that I know. And all that I see. Because every time people let Tyreek Hill do his thing, he absolutely beats you. Every single time. What are the Browns doing? Why do I have to come on to this show? NFL, watch me right now. I don't care if you're the Ravens, the Dolphins, the Patriots, the Cowboys, the Vikings, even the Packers. All right? Do not cover Tyreek Hill with one person. If anyone else covers Tyreek Hill with one person, I am literally just going to stop talking about you. Like, if that team, I'm going to remove them from the list of teams for as long as I want. I'm not going to talk about you. If another team tries to cover Tyreek Hill with one player, I swear I am done with you. You are on my list. I'm crossing you off NFL teams to talk about. You're done. You have to double team him. I don't care if he goes to the concession stand. I don't care if he goes to the fucking bathroom. You have to send two people to Tyreek Hill at all times, or you're going to lose the game. Did you not watch the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last year? They put Carlton Davis on this man. He roasted him like a damn marshmallow. You have to cover him with two people. Not only that, Tyreek Hill's one thing. He's the best player in the league. But then you also have Travis Kelce. Why are the Cleveland Browns letting Travis Kelce get off the line of scrimmage without somebody hitting him? Why does Travis Kelce get to mosey into the middle of the field and stand there 8 yards into a route with nobody around him? What the fuck fuck are you doing? You're playing the Chiefs. You have two people to cover. You've got Tyreek Hill and you've got Travis Kelce. That's it. That's all you got to deal with. You don't have anybody else. Clyde is not the guy. He's not it. Mecole Hardman can't run a route. Demarcus Robinson, I don't even know who that is. Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce. Two people. Two. All you got to do is cover both. At least try. How can you let Travis Kelce score 2 touchdowns in the red zone? How do you not have 2 people on Travis Kelce in the red zone and 2 people on Tyreek Hill for the rest of the damn game? Like, what the fuck are you doing? Are you trying to lose the game? I can tell you right now, if a team is going to beat the Chiefs or lose to the Chiefs. If you do not, how do you win? How do you lose? You lose to the Chiefs by letting them beat you with Hill and Kelce. This is the dumbest thing. Like, why do teams keep doing this to themselves? Why? Why do teams keep doing this? Can someone please explain why coaches are this stupid? The Browns are letting the Chiefs beat them this way. You can't roll out and play like that. You need to defend the Chiefs. It's stupid. It's not like you don't have the players. The Browns lost this game. The Chiefs didn't win it because the Browns never tried to lose. They let themselves lose it by not covering Tyreek Hill with 2 people and not covering Kelce with 2 people. They never got a bump at the line on Kelce. Never. Not once. I didn't see it one time. Now, the Browns moved the ball up and down the field. I mean, all game. They were like scoring up and down. They were up 22-10. They're up 22-10 in the game. They still don't double team Tyreek Hill. He gets a 70-yard touchdown. John Johnson. Guys, a free safety was covering Tyreek Hill. What? What are you doing? What is this game plan? It is gross. Baker Mayfield played well. What do you know? Guys like Colin Cowherd are saying that Baker Mayfield was the reason they lost. No! The reason they lost is because their freaking defensive coordinator is an idiot. What is he doing? They got pressure. Myles Garrett and freaking Clowney were awesome. Malik McDowell played well. But like, bro, like, what are you doing? Baker played well. Outside of the pick on the last drive, which was like basically like a prayer. I will say that was a bad decision. But other than that, the guy played really good. Here's the thing though. If the Browns can just figure this shit out, which is not that hard. I mean, what are you doing? It's not that hard. Anyways, if they can figure it out, they might have to beat the Chiefs in a shootout, but they can. Here's the thing. They were missing Odell Beckham Jr. This is the player they need. This is the player they need versus the Chiefs. When the chips are on the table, when the Baker Mayfield has to drop back for the Browns to pass the ball, when the other team knows they got to pass the ball, you need a receiver to get open. That's number 13. He wasn't playing, and when he wasn't playing, they couldn't get guys open one-on-one. The Chiefs locked him down. And that's not Baker's fault. You need your go-to guy. That's how they have to beat the Chiefs. And hopefully they don't play like absolute idiots on defense. Also, the punter on the Browns. What are you doing? You got one job. Literally one job. The guy punted once in the game. Actually, he didn't punt because he fumbled the damn ball in the red zone. You can't have these turnovers. Nick Chubb sold. He fumbled. So the Browns nearly beat the Chiefs. Probably should have beat the Chiefs. They fumbled. The punter fumbled. And the defense played like absolute jackasses. And they almost won the game. I get it. The Chiefs didn't have Tyrann Mathieu. I don't think it's a big loss when you play the Browns, personally. I don't. But the Browns showed that they're legit. They just got to fix some stupid crap on defense and not turn the ball over. And next time these two teams play, they can very easily win that matchup. But I thought they showed that they could dominate the line of scrimmage, that they could move the ball on the ground or through the air. And that's promising for the Browns. I just think they coughed it up. This game could matter at the end of the day for home field. And they gave it away. They lost it. The Chiefs didn't win it. They lost it. The punter lost it. Chubb lost it. The defensive coordinator, idiot, lost it. How do you beat the Chiefs? You don't lose by covering Tyreek Hill with John Johnson. I'm sorry. You don't. So, that's it, guys. That is the bottom line for this week. If you have any questions for me, let me know in the comments. I'll stick around here till 9:30 Eastern time, around that time, and let you guys ask any questions about week 1 that you have or anything about the NFL that you have. James asks, would the Browns have won if Odell played? Possibly. At the end of the game, they might have been able to move the ball versus man coverage if he was out there. Definitely would have had a better shot. But I think they should have won it regardless. John Johnson is not a rookie. You still ain't talking about the Eagles. No, they embarrassed Ultra's team. I didn't want to put Ultra through the pain, but maybe next week. I want to see more from the Eagles. I like what I saw, but I want to see more. T-Bone says, who is better all time? Aaron Rodgers or Drew Brees? Oh, God. God help me. Give me Drew Brees. Jasmine says, damn, I always miss these. What's up, Jasmine? It's been a while. You haven't been in the chat. Samuel says, who's better, Hurts or Tua? Hurts. Singh says, which game was the most? The Saints-Packers game. Durkant says, Ravens can't get pressure without blitzing. Villanueva sucks. Their defense was relying on 2 positions to carry them. Now I'm repeating the same thing. Here's the difference, though. That was before the Ravens were hurt. Now it's a different story. Sports Fan says, we could beat the Niners, actually. They lost Mostert and Verrett, and we have our home crowd. Yeah, I think the Eagles game versus the Niners will be pretty competitive. I won't give you away my pick yet. That will be tomorrow, but it will be a good game. If you have any questions, let me know. Can you explain why you picked Drew over Rodgers? Because Rodgers is soft. I'm done with him. I don't want to deal with the personality if I'm a coach. Drew Brees is one of the best leaders of all time, so I'll take Drew Brees. I'm done with Aaron. Done. Brian says Philly not beating San Francisco. Jimmy says the Bears didn't play good at all. They need to start Justin Fields. He would be a lot better than Andy Dalton. I agree. Guys, if you haven't already, make sure you do Gronk spike that like button. Hope you enjoyed the show tonight. See you, sports fan. Thanks for joining. Hope you enjoyed. Yeah, Verrett, such unlucky guy, man. Why'd the Packers lose? Because they got whooped on the line of scrimmage. RJ says Browns are winning the Super Bowl and Jameis is winning MVP. Damn! Hot takes by RJ. Sean says, what did you think of Mac Jones' accuracy and composure? I talked about it earlier in the show. Check it out earlier in the show, but I will just say, you could go check it out, but I was really impressed. By far the best rookie quarterback this past week. Jonathan says Breeze is just better. Caesar says Joe Woods needs to be fired in a grill until what? Bro, what are you saying? Dylan says best defensive rookie so far. I didn't get to see all of them. That's a good question though. I'm not sure. Who do you think, Dylan? Sean says, would the Pats have won if they passed instead of ran? Here's something I didn't bring up in that conversation about Mac Jones, is I thought McDaniels was too conservative in the game. I thought he opened it up in the second half and they started really moving the ball really effectively. They moved it kind of all day, but if they would have thrown it more, which I expect they will versus the Jets because they don't want to just run into the Jets D-line, I think this offense is going to get better and better and better. Just the way that Mac really controlled the offense and the flow of play, I think their passing game is going to be better than I thought. But it was better yesterday than I thought versus a good secondary. Or I should say Sunday, not yesterday. New Life says, what did you think of Antonio Brown? Man, he looks good. Explosive. I didn't see that gear from him that I saw, last year where it felt like he was still a good route runner. He could still get open. He was still a good player. But in that week 1, he showed that he still has that extra gear of speed that I didn't see in 2020. So Antonio Brown is back, man. He could be the best receiver on that team. He's really darn good still. Gabriel says, horrified about my Bills dropping game 1. Reason to overreact. Are we in trouble? Biggest issue for us. I already talked about that, Gabriel, a little bit earlier, so check out what I had to say, but I'm not too panicked. I will say you might have to temper expectations a little bit this year, but I'm not overly panicked right now. I think you guys could easily won that game. Some things went wrong for you. Allen didn't play his best. We need more information. Singh says, Mitch, why do you think the Jags lost? Because they suck. Jimmy says the Bears need to get better on defense. Yes, they do. T-Bone says best defensive rookie is a Debo. Samuel says, what do you think of Trevor Lawrence? Stunk. Dylan says, I don't know. I honestly, bro, though, Samuel, I didn't see much of the game. But from what I saw, I was not a fan. Dylan says, I don't know. I guess Parsons, but we need to see more from everyone before we can say. Jacob says, what's up, son of a Mitch? Mitch, if the Steelers offense gets it going, oh boy. Yes, I will say, if the Steelers get an offense, which they don't have right now, they will be good, but they definitely need an offense. RJ says, I don't think, what? The Ravens are making, bro, you're missing some words here, RJ. The Ravens are making because they've always relied on defense in the run game, which they both suck at now. Their pass game is not consistent. Lamar's not throwing the ball 500 times. Okay, so I think I understand what you're saying there. They won't be a good team without what they're good at traditionally, which makes sense, and I would agree. I'm just giving out an opinion in terms of like how they could be good. Holden says, what's the general goal for a team in your mind when you have a rookie quarterback? It depends on the situation. I think every situation is different. I think just seeing, bright spots from the quarterback himself and being able to actually evaluate him. I think one of the difficulties with the Jets this year is going to be the problem with evaluating him because the team is bad and the offensive line might be missing some pieces. So it's going to be tough to evaluate just Zach Wilson individually. So it definitely depends on the situation in terms of wins and losses, if that's what you're asking. But I think what you're looking for is just for that guy to prove that he's a franchise quarterback. Mr. Blanco says, I don't think Fields should start until the Bears fix the O-line. Corey says, do you think Bill is really a good head coach? Yes, I do. What was your take on Washington, LA? I haven't seen the whole game yet, but Justin Herbert's a baller. The offensive line is legit in LA. They only allowed 6 pressures in the game versus a top pass rush unit. And Washington's in trouble without Fitzpatrick, I think. Heineke isn't much worse, but the offense is a lot to be desired, leaves a lot to be desired. I think the Chargers could be legit, though. I said in the preview for the game, if the Chargers are able to go to Washington, block that front, and have success, and win, then they're legit. And I think that might be the biggest storyline nobody's talking about, is that the Chargers are a legit team. They're really good. Jacob says, Mitch, my Steelers got clowned by letting Villanueva go. We all saw how bad he is. The sports media is very hypocritical, man. Yes, it is. And I don't think that was necessarily, bad or wrong of them to critique that, because they certainly needed tackles, and they still do. But letting go of a bad one that's over the hill is not necessarily a bad move either. So I agree and disagree. New Life says, Najee Harris this week. How do you think he will do? They play the Raiders. I think he'll have more success than he had last week, but I'm somewhat concerned about efficiency, but you have to start him every week because he gets so many touches. Do you think, I already answered that. Jacob says, love the content. Appreciate it. Jasmine says, Mitch, will these be live every week? Yes, Tuesday every week. The Bottom Line live here on the channel, recapping every week. What team was the softest of all week? Definitely the Packers. Packers are soft as freaking, I don't know, soft as a cloud. Dominic says, I've seen jokes that the Panthers barely beat the Jets, which isn't completely true anyways, but the Jets are going to surprise some teams that don't sleep on them. Definitely not the same Jets. I will say, I think the Panthers look decent. I would have liked to have seen more points scored from the Panthers' perspective. The Jets are competitive, I agree, but I don't think they're any good. Samuel says, should Washington sign Cam? I would, but I don't know if they will. Dominic says, Zach made some plays that made him look like a younger Rodgers and Mahomes mixed in one. Zach is the only reason there was a semblance of a comeback, which means that Zach played well. That's good to hear. I agree with that take. All right, guys, that is it for the Bottom Line this week. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure that you do Gronk spike that like button. Do subscribe to the channel for more BLV just like this. Head over to the Instagram for more exclusive content at TheBottomLineView. Follow me on Twitter at Mitch Milani. And check out the description for that Discord community where we talk football every day of the week. Peace, guys. Thanks for watching.